hell, fire, and brimstone. Cain is back. The big red machine is back. And that alone made the entire show for me. I don't care what anyone else says. With all the talk of him running for mayor in Knoxville and him being in the very latter years of his career, I'm just pumped to know that he's still healthy and free enough to get back in the ring and continue to remind us, the fans, why he's one of the greatest big men ever. And you know what? This Raw could have been a lot worse than it was. So let's get into it. The Shield has fully returned now, complete with all of their former military gear and their music, which so many people understandably wanted back. But how rude of them to interrupt Kurt Angle the way that they did. It was almost heelish. But that's classic Shield for ya. They were just dicks a lot of the time way back when. And then with Miz, The Bar, and Strowman coming out to try and take them on after Shield called them out, it was a damn good start to a show that really got the crowd pumped up and set the tone for the rest of the show to come. When I saw Anderson and Gallows with Elias, I immediately rolled my eyes and thought, great, they're gonna have them sing or say and do some stupid shit, which is gonna make them look even worse than they've already looked during almost the entirety of their run so far in the WWE. And sure enough, they had them sing, but as it went on, I actually found myself enjoying the bit. Insanity! And then the tag match between the three men, Jordan, Cruz, and Titus, took place, and it was okay. The good guys won this one, but I think I'm stating the obvious here when I say that it didn't really do anything for the victors. Did I forget to mention that I tried to watch the entirety of this show live for once, after not doing so for what I think have been a few years, and then the Cruiserweight guys get their time and I naturally couldn't care less. If I had been watching it on old school TV, I would have changed the damn channel. And we all know the story by now. The problem has never actually been the talents themselves, but the absolutely atrocious way that they have all been presented and managed since after the Cruiserweight Classic, unless your name is Neville or Enzo Amore. Although if reports are to be believed, Neville wasn't happy with his position in the company and has apparently walked out on them, and if it's due to him having issues with the creative team, it'll be a shocker to no one, because those of us who follow the product know that he was always the big fish in the puddle of sewage water that has been the 205 Cruiserweight division. Miz TV with The Bar and Strowman, something that actually matters to the average fan. And Miz, being Miz of course, tries to convince Kurt Angle to allow them to have a fifth member on their team to help them take out the Shield at TLC on Sunday, once again using Ambrose's words as justification for his demands. Ultimately, Kurt Angle makes a deal with them, stating that if Strowman beats Reigns in the cage match, they will get their fifth member, but if Strowman loses, then he'll be removed from the match entirely at the pay-per-view. And I loved it, and the crowd seemed to have as well, because that is one way to raise the stakes even higher for the marquee match on the pay-per-view. And also, the people wanted Axel to be the fifth man, and he thought that he would be. But as we all later saw, Strowman and The Bar convinced him to go after the Shield, and specifically Roman Reigns, by himself. And we all saw how that ended for him. Poor Curtis, all these years and the man just can't catch a break. It's always good to see Sasha in action, I think, but against Alicia Fox? As if she's ever actually mattered. This match actually had reason to happen at least, which is something that often, even today, isn't always the case when it comes to the women. Alicia gets submitted by the bank statement again, and then Fox attacks her backstage post-match, and now they have a rematch in the kickoff for TLC, which I won't see because I've never cared for the pre-shows and I find it hard to care for this feud as well. Kalisto told Enzo that he was going to beat him to become the new Cruiserweight champion while he was wearing the goddamn Cruiserweight title around his goddamn waist. He and microphones just don't seem to be a good duo, do they? And does anyone care for him switching back and forth between English and Espanol while he's talking in his promos? Because I honestly find it annoying as shit, and I always have. But anyway, apparently Enzo has friends in the division now, which makes no sense because everyone hated his guts even a week ago, and I was okay with seeing Kalisto get his ass beat, even though I'm supposed to cheer for this hombre. and Daivari looked alright in his attempt to help him out, though he, like most of 205, is about as one-dimensional as a pro wrestler can get. Moving on again to things more entertaining, we had the tag team titles on the line and it seemed to end pretty quickly. Or was that just me? It's a match we've seen before. Rollins and Ambrose obviously look better off for retaining the titles, but I don't think that hurts Cesaro and Sheamus at all because my excitement for the TLC match that they'll have on Sunday remains the same. And I know I just got done crapping all over the cruiserweights, but they could be even worse off. They could be involved with Wyatt and BALOR, who have been in an absolutely horrible, degrading, cringe-inducing, makes me want to shove needles in my eyes feud that has gone on way too long and has just completely stunted BALOR's momentum. Bray's been a hopeless cause for years now, being involved in some of the worst stuff the company has put out these past few years, and I have no hope that he will ever regain the heights that he was at when he was still with Harper and Rowan and they were feuding with the Shield, back when he was just a cult leader and made no claims of being a god, or projected worms and cockroaches onto the ring canvas, or competed in abandoned houses or cross-dressed to try to scare his goddamn opponents. There is stuff in the world that is so bad that it is good, but this feud has been so bad that it makes me never want to see Bray on TV again, and I really feel for BALOR's involvement in all this. I don't have high hopes for this man anymore, none at all. It makes me want to fucking cry! I would so much rather see Emma keep trying to start trending hashtags, because at least she's gaining some sort of traction in what she's doing. She's a decent performer, and well, she's smoking hot! And has this whole Bliss and James feud been amazing? No, but it's been a hell of a lot better than other portions of the program, and I'm just glad to see that Mickey's been back on TV, and I've been a fan of our goddess champion since her NXT days. I, for one, want to see the match for the title at the pay-per-view on Sunday. Reigns versus Strowman in the cage was obviously going to be a good match, since both men have proven to have good chemistry together up to this point. And of course, despite manager Kurt Angle banning everyone but the two men from ringside, I think most knew that they would get involved in some way regardless, and so they did, and Strowman ended up winning due to the biggest highlight and surprise of the night. Cain is back! Cain is back! Hellfire and brimstone, Cain is back, and no one saw it coming, and it was a genuine surprise, and it's always great to see the living legend get back inside the ring. We don't know how many more times he'll be back in action, and we don't know how long he'll stick around now that he's back, but in the time that he is back, we should all enjoy it while it lasts, because living legends like himself and The Undertaker, well, they're a dying breed, and they're once-in-a-lifetime performers, so hey, don't complain. If you feel that it doesn't make any sense that he's siding with The Miz in the bar to help take out the Shield, because you're not going to see him for much longer. That's the reality of things. So, as a fan, enjoy it while it lasts. And that was Raw this week in a nutshell. And I ask you now, my dear and loyal viewer, what did you think of this go-home show? Did you like it, hate it, or want to verbally destroy anything like I did to Wyatt and BALOR's feud? Let me know here on YouTube or on Vidme. And if you'd like even more 20 by 20 goodness, check it out on Facebook and Twitter at Wrestling 20 by 20. But for the time being, I'll see you on the SmackDown show. Thank you for tuning in.